The Courage to be Disliked is a really life-changing book which dives deeper into the topic of Adlerian psychology. Essentially, it's about understanding why people do certain actions over others, and it argues that trauma does not define our present and that we should not blame our past for what we are doing now. You might ask, how is this related to being yourself, and what is the cost of living for others? And that's exactly what I would want to dive deeper today in this video. First of all, I would want to start from this example that we have in a book, which is about a young guy who was traumatized in his childhood. He had abusive parents, and he grew up being a socially anxious person. He would not leave his room and he would not go out anywhere. He would just spend most of his days and most of his time just laying in his room. People would feel sorry for him and have some sort of remorse and guilt for him having to spend most of his days just laying out there and missing out on so many important events and so many opportunities outside. But the author argues that the problem is not that he is just sitting in his room and that social anxiety is just a symptom and not the cause. The reason is simple. He is liking the way he is living and he is enjoying the benefits of being a socially anxious person. He does not want to change and he is using his social anxiety to stay in his room. That's what he's doing, and he's not traumatized in the sense that trauma disenables him to get outside, but he is using his trauma as an excuse to not get outside. When I first read this book, I didn't really understand what this all means, but while I've been rereading this book, I've started noticing these patterns a lot in our everyday world. I've started seeing this in myself, and I've started seeing this in other people as well. We spend so much of our time just trying to get something to others and please other people. We spend so much of our time trying to be normal, even though we're all different and none of us is normal. We're all unique and we're all individuals. So that's why this video is called The Cost of Living for Others. When we're trying to meet other people's expectations and living for them and living to create this sort of unique excuses for who we are and what we are doing and where we are getting. A lot of people say that they want to be successful, but not a lot of people actually want to be successful. A lot of people say that they want to build their own business, but not a lot of people want to deal with the problem of having to run a business. And an easy way to find out whether or not you actually want it is to ask yourself, do you actually making active changes every day to accomplish your goal? If you're not, then probably you do not want to accomplish the goal that you say to yourself that you want to accomplish. Probably it's just nice to say that you have that goal. And while this is a negative side about people that you can get from this book, there are also so many bright sides which I'm seeing and which I would want to share with you as well. I think that if we will start to understand these mechanisms inside ourselves, if we will start to understand what we actually want and what we use for an excuse, our life will change dramatically. It will become much easier to really pursue what you want. Just think about it. When you want something, you will start doing things that you want. And you will enjoy doing those things. And you will get so much more ahead than if you would not enjoy those things. For example, waking up earlier. If you really did understand the importance of sleep and how beneficial it is for your body and for your health and for your mood and for everything in your life, same time every day, you would probably go to bed at the same time every day. You would probably wake up at the same time every day. And the same applies to your job. Understanding how mortal you are and how much time you have in this life left, you would probably not want to spend too much of your time working a job you hate. You would probably start the things that you really enjoy doing, and you would probably go out and be much more productive than you are right now. You would probably stop wanting to sit down on your phone and scroll TikTok or watch useless content on YouTube. You would probably want to go out and create your own stuff. You would probably want to live your own life. You would be so much more happier if you would just not try to meet people's expectations. I see it a lot in a modern society that people are not actually living for themselves, but they are living for other people. They are trying to meet expectations that they have in their own head, and nobody actually cares about your life and how the way you live.